In JJK, we never saw the consequences of breaking a binding vow with someone. Or did we? Let's talk about it. Alright, so shout out to Raphael for inspiring this video today, where he asked, do you think that promise made between Rika and Yuta was a binding vow, which then could have resulted in what we saw happen to Rika? Okay, so for starters, let's talk about this promise that they made as children, right? Essentially that they would be together forever and they would get married when they're older. Now, obviously, Yuta doesn't know what binding vows are at this point, nor does he even understand that he has cursed energy, right? But nonetheless, he has cursed energy, and so much so that he's second to only Sukuna in the entire verse, right? So this very may well could have been a binding vow agreed upon by both parties. And we know, thanks to this scene between Kinjaku and Mahito, that the consequences of breaking a binding vow you make with someone else are dire, to the extent where even sorcerers as powerful as Kinjaku and Sukuna are wary of doing this. So could this transformation be a result of that broken binding vow, of Rika failing to fulfill her promise of being with Yuta forever, of marrying him when they were older? And the way the universe basically morphs this into something cursed is that, hey, you will actually fulfill that promise because you will be with him forever in the form of a special grade vengeful cursed spirit that basically drives this kid insane, right? If you remember up at the start of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Yuta Kotsu was just trying to take his own life because this version of Rika had basically forced him away from everything he cared about. Now, yes, we don't need this aspect of a broken binding vow to make Rika make sense, because we know that vengeful cursed spirits are a thing in JJK, right? But interestingly, we do know that Rika was caused by Yuta Okotsu's absurd amount of cursed energy and not her own. Food for thought, the only other vengeful cursed spirit we see in the series was one born of their own cursed energy and not someone else's. So that is a bit of a unique circumstance on the Yuta Rika situation. Honestly, I really like looking at this through this lens. I feel like it makes a ton of sense and it feels like the glove just fits, right? And it is kind of just semantics at the end of the day, because in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the explanation we're given is that Yuta inadvertently cursed her, right? Because of love, the most twisted curse of them all. And sure, I'm not saying that we have to pretend that's not the case. I think that still is the case, but you could also just kind of reskin that by saying, like, yeah, this was the consequences of your broken binding vow, which was based upon y'all's love for each other. So yeah, I like this. But in Gege Akutami's mind, was that his intention? Like, did he expect readers to walk away from the Yuta Rika situation and assume, like, oh, that's the consequences of a broken binding vow? Probably not, but I mean, again, it fits for me. So y'all let me know your thoughts.